Hey, BrandoMcWilli here. I'm doing like a part 2 of this die setup in a way. I wanted to make it a separate video just to show you guys how to set the dies up, as far as initially out of the box and how to get them cleaned and ready to go. And then I wanted to do another video basically going over how to set them up in the actual press. Now, those of you that may already know that I'm using a Hornady press, lock and load. And if you watched the video that I just did previously, we basically set up the dies and I got them set up in my locking washer, collars, and all that good stuff, and I got it ready to go. Now, I'm going to show you basically how to go about setting up the dies. Now, Hornady includes, make sure this is one for, yeah, there we go. The instructions, I guess every die set will include instructions on how to set up your dies. So, I'm going to refer to this, but I'm going to set it off camera. But I'm actually going to talk about it because reading and showing, sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's basically what I'm doing here. So, basically, adjusting the die sizing. Okay, so this is the sizing die. And you'll notice that the sizing die will have this long stem, and there will also be a decapping pin inside the die. So you know that that one's always your desizing die. And please note that I have the die bushing for the lock and load already on here, okay? So I'm going to loosen up this collar a little bit, and I'm going to turn this 1/4 turn, and then it's going to lock that die bushing in place. And so I'm ready to go with this particular die as far as checking this out. One thing that it says to do is to adjust the spindle, which is this right here, to approximately 3/16 an inch of the decap pin is below the die. Okay, and it says see photo, which has a nice little photo, and it's basically saying that that decapping pin should be lower. So what I'm going to do is make sure that that is the case, and I can actually do that by taking it out of the press and just basically, I'm not going to measure exactly 3/16 of an inch, but that's about it right there. Oh, sorry, that's about it right there, and that goes into place. Okay. Now once I have that into place, I also have to make sure that it's sized correctly, so it sizes a round or a brass without bending it weird and all that good stuff. So the next thing to do is to make sure that threads of the spindle collate are engaged and tighten the spindle lock. Okay, yada yada yada. Okay, to adjust a full length size die, raise the ram to the highest position without camming over. Okay. And then thread the full-length die into the press until it touches the base shell holder. Okay, so you have to have the shell holder in place. Okay, I do this right here. I'm going to raise the ram, okay, and I'm basically going to screw the die body down until it touches the top of the ram. Okay, and it's slowly making it, loosen this up some. Slowly making it almost there. Loosen this up some more. Alright, it just touched right there. Okay, so when it touches the shell holder, then you basically lock your lock ring against the press and tighten it with the Allen screw. Okay, now got my little Allen screw right here, and I'll go and tighten this thing. And I'm right in the way of the camera, I know. That's not a big deal. Alright, so let's test it. Alright, I'm going to put a round in here that has not a round, but a piece of brass that has primer that needs to be taken out. And I don't care if it drops on the floor right now, it's okay, I'm just testing. I'm going to raise the ram. And let's see. Well, it didn't knock it out. Maybe I should lower that spindle some more. That's interesting. Let me take this out of the press and take a look. Oh, well, it did move up. I didn't tighten it. I didn't tighten this. This screw right here tightens that spindle, and I didn't do that. My fault. So let's get that set right. Alright, let's try it again. Oh, there goes the primer. and I have a nice sized case. And that's it for that one. Okay? And now, the next thing to do is to set my expanding die. Okay? So I go ahead and put the whole bushing thing in there. You put your case back in, and you raise the ram, and you want this unscrewed all the way out, as far as it'll, not far as it'll go, but basically, with the case in there, you want to screw this down until it touches the top of the case. Okay? Lower it a little bit, screw it another quarter turn, raise it up, and then now I have a flared edge on that brass, and that's expanded. And that's basically all that is. You can experiment with this until you get to a flared edge that you want by basically placing a bullet in there and making sure that it fits in there. Okay? If it's not fitting in there like you want, then you may want to turn it some more so that it will flare some more. So we'll do another one. It still didn't really engage that much. There we go. And then I can put this bullet in here. All this is for bullet seating. So that's pretty good. Alright? Not a problem with that. If you do it too much though, it will totally bend your case like crazy. And I'll lock this in place in a minute. I'll just take it out, show you the next one. The next one is the bullet seating, okay, which is the one that I was having problems with the RCBS that I had. Alright, so I'm going to take the die out as much as possible, lock this in place, and I'm going to raise my bullet depth up. Okay, so basically you take your case and you put it back into the ram, lift it all the way up, screw the die body down until it touches the tops of the case. Okay, that's all you got to do with that. So it's touching the top of the case, and then now that I have it touching the top of the case, then I can adjust or try seating a bullet. Alright, screw this down some more until it gives me the proper bullet depth, and I can measure that with my vernier calipers and get to make sure that I'm at the total overall length. The next thing that you want to do is to crimp, and you can actually adjust the die to crimp as well. Basically what you do is you back this off a little bit when you set your seating, and then once you have the bullet depth the way that you want to do it, you put the entire bullet back in here and you lower the die body until it touches the bullet, and then lift it back up and then turn it just a little bit more. And when you do that, that will give you a little crimp. And what you want to do is you want to measure the casing from here and also here, and it should be the same size or a little bit smaller here. Okay, if it's bigger here, then it's not crimped correctly. And if you're shooting an automatic pistol, then you want to make sure that it's crimped correctly. And guys, that's basically it. You know, that's not, I'm going to obviously pull this, but that's as simple as that, and basically following these instructions. Now if I go back and look at the seating die, again, there is instructions seating with a crimp and seating without a crimp. And just to go over this one more time, it says, to begin, refer to the procedure for seating without a crimp. Follow that instruction throughout, however, do not tighten the tightening locking ring. Because you want to set everything and set the bullet depth, and then what you want to do, it says once you've reached your preferred seating depth of the bullet, back out the seater adjustment a few turns. That's what I was saying before. You back this out a little bit, raise the ram with the cartridge on to the top of the stroke. So I put this back in here, raise the ram to the top of the stroke, thread the seater die until it meets resistance. Okay, it says again, at that point the mouth of the case has met resistance to the crimper. Thread the seater die body into the press in small increments, which is 1/16 turns each time, operating the handle at the completion of each stroke, and inspect the cartridge for a proper crimp. So basically, I would lower this back, I'll turn this 1/16 of a turn, raise it again, okay, and then go back and inspect for the proper crimp. And inspect by measuring the outer diameter here, and also the outer diameter here. And if they match, or if the crimp is a little bit less, then that means that I got a proper crimp. Okay? And that's it. Once you have everything, then you're done. And the cool thing about having a Hornady press with a lock and load is that now that this is all set, and it's not necessarily set for me yet, but I was just trying to do it for instruction basis, is I just basically take that out and I'm done. And I want to put my seating die or change calipers or whatever, just put that one in, crank it down, and I'm good to go. Gotta love it. So anyway, that's how you set up your dies, and that's very informal, and I probably didn't do it the best, but that's basically it. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment. I think that's about it. Oh, one last thing. What am I carrying today? Well, I'm actually carrying the Rock Island. Rock Island. This is my Rock Island Armory. All right, and you know, 1911. I did some stuff to this. Gave it some character on my own. I'll go over another video on that. I got in the mood to do some stuff, and anyway, hope you guys like it. I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.